Targeting Spelling is a program especially designed for busy teachers. It has been developed over many years and trialled extensively. It has proved to be a simple but highly effective approach to the teaching of spelling, with content that is carefully structured and sequenced. Results indicate marked improvements in students' spelling and writing. The program consists of a teacher's book for each year level with comprehensive weekly lesson plans, spelling activities, and assessment tasks. Also included is a photocopyable word warm-ups booklet for students that contains the lists of words that will be taught throughout the year. The teacher's book also comes with 2 discs. A teacher's disc with record-keeping spreadsheets, instructional videos, photocopyable templates for hands-on activities, and PDFs of the whole book for use on an interactive whiteboard, emailing, or printing. The Games disc contains the 10 exciting and colourful spectacular spelling computer games, written to support the Targeting Spelling program. During a weekly spelling lesson, teaching and learning will pass through 5 phases. Each lesson has a particular teaching focus, and in this first phase, words are introduced and their elements explored. The meanings of any unfamiliar words are discussed. During the second phase, teachers develop concepts about words and ways of learning through explicit instruction and demonstration. In the third phase, teachers extend student knowledge through word-building activities and an exploration of the structure of words. In this phase, hands-on materials can greatly enhance student understanding of word structures and spelling rules. In the fourth phase, students are practicing and consolidating their new knowledge. They are engaging in paper and pencil activities, games, puzzles, word searches, and wordplay. They are applying their knowledge in writing tasks. In the final phase, student progress is assessed informally through observation and daily writing tasks, and more formally through weekly word tests and dictation. Assessment results highlight areas where students may need help, as well as any areas of uncertainty that may need to be reviewed at the class level. The Targeting Spelling program has 2 main components: a book for teachers containing comprehensive weekly lesson plans and assessment, a book for students called the Word Warm-Ups book, which contains all the spelling lists for the year. The cover can be supplied to students in black and white to colour in, or from the teacher disc in colour. Every spelling lesson should begin with a word warm-up, where the students chant the weekly spelling list together. This ensures they are focused on the words and are receiving the best possible sensory input. They see the word, they say the word, they hear the word, and they hear others saying the word. Tell the students to say the ends of their words clearly, like this: hop, top, odd, rod, lock, rock. This is important because many people don't articulate the ends of their words, and poor spelling is often the result of not remembering what the end of a word sounds like. Explain to students that chanting, saying together, will halve their learning time. Begin a word warm-up by saying, "Put your finger on the first word. Go!" In the teacher's book, the content of all lessons is presented through different areas of work at the class level: board work, button work, book work, memory work, pencil work, peg work, years 1 and 2, disc work, years 2 and 3. Board work is an essential element in the teaching and learning process. It provides a focus for all students as concepts and strategies are explored. Explicit teaching should be part of every spelling lesson. Board work provides ideas for the explicit teaching and demonstration of spelling concepts, patterns, and rules. For each lesson, set up the board like this to provide a scaffold for all learners with vowels on the left and common word endings on the right. Use the board space for the explicit teaching of visual and sound patterns, syllables, compound words, prefixes, suffixes, and the rules related to word building. The endings provide a scaffold for all students while learning specific rules such as doubling, the E rule and the Y rule. Use the board space to demonstrate strategies for learning spelling. In any school program, there is great value in the consistency of language used to speak about specific subjects. This is as true of spelling as it is for math, grammar, or any other subject. A shared language allows students to transition easily from one year level to the next, and teachers to share their knowledge and resources. Button work refers to magnetised buttons that can be used on a whiteboard. Button work enables the visual representation of words and provides a bridge between saying the word and spelling the word. It shows the correct pattern, the correct sequence, and the correct number of letters. The buttons can be used to demonstrate letter patterns and to scaffold students as they begin their spelling journey. During open book work, the Word Warm-Ups book is open in front of the students and selected students are asked to spell word plurals, rhyming words, and words with common endings, to identify base words and cite rules. Open book work allows the students to concentrate on selecting correct endings and applying any rules without having to memorise the word. Remember, the common endings should be on the board for student reference. During closed book work, the Word Warm-Ups book is closed and students are asked to write dictated words with or without endings. This gives students the chance to think about and show what they know about spelling. It is practice time, not test time. Open and closed book work gives you the opportunity to cover a lot of ground orally. It reaps many benefits over time because you are constantly revisiting a range of concepts. When writers write, they largely draw on their memory of what words look like. Good spellers usually have a good visual memory for words. Memory work is an important part of the spelling lesson as it aims to develop this skill. It involves seeing, hearing, saying, and writing words. Students should always attempt to learn words and spell them from memory. Look, say, cover, write, check is an excellent strategy for learning to memorize words. Let's look at this strategy more carefully by looking at the word you written in large letters on the board. Look at the word and say it 3 times. Close your eyes and picture the word. Open your eyes and check. Is the word the same as your picture? Close your eyes and picture the word again. Write it in the air with your finger. This is an important step. Writing a word in the air with eyes closed focuses the student on visual memory. Check. Is that the word you wrote? Rub the word off the board and ask the students to write it from memory. Remember, when learning a word, always write it from your memory. These strategies will also assist your students to remember multi-syllable words. Students need many opportunities to play with words and make discoveries about how they look, how they sound, and how they are used. Pencil work activities are provided in each lesson to give students specific practice in the area of focus. These activities give them the opportunity to apply the skills and strategies they have been learning. It is important that, before you ask students to complete the pencil work activities, you have taught them what they need to know. It is also important that any pencil work you ask students to do is about learning and improving their skills and understanding, not testing. Hands-on learning is very valuable. It focuses students on what they need to learn. Often students will say they understand a concept, such as the doubling rule, but it is not until they have to show what they know do they really cement their understanding. Materials can include pegwork and disc work in the early years, as well as compound word baggies, contraction and homophone baggies. The upper school can add in prefix and suffix baggies. Hands-on materials appeal particularly to a kinesthetic learner. It keeps busy hands busy. These materials and instructions for their use are on the Targeting Spelling Teacher disc. Pegwork is manipulative material requiring wooden pegs with letters written on their legs, sets of word cards, and sets of common endings. Instructions for the preparation and use of this material and the word cards are provided on the CD. Pegwork allows students to explore and make their own personal discoveries about the structure of words and the rules that govern their use. Pegwork activities can be set up easily for small group work or individual students. Word cards are placed in a plastic plate with the pegs required for the task clipped around the outside of the plate. The students are given the endings they require to complete the task. Disc work requires sets of word cards and plastic discs with letter terms written on them. Instructions for the preparation and use of this material and the word cards are provided on the CD. During disc work, students place a disc letter team in the space on a word card and write the complete word. Having the letter team highlighted in this way helps students' visual memory of what two letters go together and what they say. At the start of the year, it is helpful to gather some baseline data on the students in the class to ascertain their readiness for the year's work in spelling. This data also provides a benchmark against which to measure progress. The start of year checkpoints provide a quick snapshot of each of the students' current level of spelling knowledge. The end of year checkpoints assess the growth expected throughout the year. The results will highlight the strengths and weaknesses of individual students and the class as a whole. The data gathered can provide valuable information for future teachers. Term assessment provides the opportunity to evaluate spelling progress for the year to date. Assessment items include individual words, dictation, and proofreading. The results can be used to review any areas of uncertainty and to direct future teaching and learning. Targeting Spelling is a program especially designed for busy teachers. It has been developed over many years and trialled extensively. It has proved to be a simple but highly effective approach to the teaching of spelling, with content that is carefully structured and sequenced. Results indicate marked improvements in students' spelling and writing.